Hello there, Stanley Carr here. I love collecting music and sports memorabilia. Want to know where you can find some? I'll tell you. Go to oldglory.com. This website features one-of-a-kind apparel from your favorite sports teams and musical artists. And I can help you get 15% off of all items. Use the code WWH135. Enjoy the episode.
Welcome to Wrestling with Heart, a podcast looking at pro wrestlers giving back to their community. Join me, Stanley Carr, as I interview wrestling's hottest names who use their platforms as entertainers to raise awareness and do community service.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Wrestling with Heart. This is the show where we talk with professional wrestlers and professional wrestling personalities about their lives in and outside of the ring, as well as doing acts of charity work, community service, volunteering, and spreading positivity. We're always about the positive vibes here on the show. Before I introduce my guest today, I want to take this time to promote our brand new book, which you can see here, Champions for a Cause Volume 1. It is a collection of interviews with some of your favorite wrestling personalities. I am talking about Mark Marrow, Jake the Snake Roberts, Tito Santana, Buff Bagwell, and so many others. It is available now on Amazon as a paperback, which you can get for $15. So get your copy today. With me right now, I've got a very special guest. She is an up-and-coming professional wrestler. At the time of this recording, she is the All-Caribbean Wrestling Women's Champion. I am pleased to welcome Kaylia Capri. Welcome to Wrestling with Heart.
That's me. How'd go? I got to start the podcast off in the most correct way. Now we're really under the Capri Sun.
All right. Now, growing up in the Bahamas, was wrestling always something you were a fan of?
So I think the best part about my story is that in the Bahamas, wrestling does not exist. We have very few sports. We don't have a big population of people, so not many people are interested in like the vast variety of sports. Our main sports like track and field, basketball, swimming, sailing, things like that. So we didn't have any wrestlers, any football players, contact sports like that. So for me, I jumped into a whole new world, literally on some aerial stuff. Like I jumped into a whole new world. I got to encounter a sport that I think absolutely fit me so well.
So you had never watched pro wrestling as a kid growing up. Did they ever show it on television?
So the networks in the Bahamas is a little bit different from the States. I wouldn't get the regular like wrestling networks. I think I would have had to really, really go deep into the internet to search for it. My family they did like wrestling, but we weren't big wrestling fans. We knew the Rey Mysterios, of course, The Rock, Johnson's, Undertaker, Goldman, everybody. We knew every single person. We just did not have the means to follow along with these shows and really go into depth with it.
I gotcha. So growing up, what was childhood like for you? Did you play a lot of sports? What were some of your favorite activities to do?
In the Bahamas, they believe you're good at something. And that's so serious. Like no matter what age you is, what color you is, they believe you're good at something. So I quickly got pushed into a lot of different sports. I did gymnastics, I did soccer, I did swimming, I did so many different like just disciplines for my body. And it was always something missing. I always hated that I couldn't scream. Like in track, my biggest thing is like, I just defeated time itself. And you telling me I can't scream? Like I can't like freak myself out. Like, and it was always something in each sport that I was just like, oh, like I'm missing something. And then man, wrestling came along and I was like, oh.
And so when you finally were able to get into something that you really started to fall in love with, what can you tell me about the training process? Because it is a very hard business. And I feel like with your background, though, it definitely feels like that your sports and athletic abilities help prepare you for something like professional wrestling, because it is a combat sport, a lot of physicality involved. Tell me about what it was like entering into this industry.
Entering in was pretty scary, not gonna lie, especially not being under a huge company that could just practically tell me where to go and who to talk to. It was like I had to figure out everything by myself. It was a lot of stuff inside and out the ring that I had to deal with. And even though I am super athletic and I could quite literally compete with the best of any wrestler in the world, that still was not helping me to become a better wrestler, because pro wrestling is that combat sport, but it's also that entertainment factor that you have to implement. And that was so hard for me because I did not understand, being from the Caribbean, being somebody who did not have, once again, someone to look up to. I had to go out in search of, how does a Caribbean person wrestle? What does Caribbean style wrestling look like? Because now I'm the person doing it. So it was very, very nerve wracking. It was so hard to find good matches. And I have a lot of people who overlook my talent and they just want me to come and make someone else look good. And it was just a lot of stress and like mental things that I started to have to deal with, especially now being in the, I guess, the nice potatoes and meat of my career. I feel like now I am craving more entertainment competition, less athletic competition, more entertainment competition, more matches where I could challenge someone mentally to put on a match that's gonna like really help people move. Like I get the big moves and stuff is cool, but I am more of a character, entertainer, wrestler, and I really now want to be put inside more of those positions.
And you talk about like learning the entertainment side, coming from a background where you're constantly trying to whether it's football or soccer or track or whatever it is, you're constantly using your body, working with your body to try to get in a way where there's a lot of movement. But in this case, you're constantly taking a lot of falls, a lot of bumps. Definitely there's a lot of pain and agony involved with this sport, this industry. And so when you're starting out in the business, talk to me about like the drills and kinds of techniques that you learned in wrestling school and the mentors that you got to work with starting out.
So starting out, I had the best mentors in the game. Starting out, I got Coach Smiley, I got Robbie Brookside. I was able to talk to Coach Carino, Fit Finley, like just picking a lot of brains in the beginning of my career. I think early on, taking a bump and hitting the ropes is kind of like the hardest thing I ever had to learn. My back was bruised up and now I got a bump on my bruised up back. It was just not like something I really wanted to do. But after a while, it's like my body acclimated. Taking bumps became second nature. Hitting the ropes became second nature. And I just found myself more in a position where it's like, oh, this is coming more as common sense to me now, because we did certain things in gymnastics, we did certain things in karate, we did certain things. Wrestling is a mixture of every single sport in the entire world, and it helps if you've tried to do every single sport in the entire world. And now I'm just like, I get in there and the last thing I worried about is my athleticism. I can get in there and give you a 30-minute match. Maybe I'll do a little, but you won't see me like, oh.
What pieces of advice did you get from your trainers early on that you took away from your training and you've applied to today?
Slow down. That's my biggest critique I've ever gotten in my whole entire wrestling life. Slow down. I do things way too fast, and I've decided that I was like, I didn't understand at first what they meant by slow down, because I felt like I was going super slow. But when I came home, have you ever just been doing stuff and you doing things too fast and then you just ended up screwing things up? That's when I started applying it. I was like, okay, it's not that I'm going fast, it's that I'm not taking my time. I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. I'm just trying to rush through it because I know I can do it. So that was like the biggest thing I took away, and I always remind myself of daily.
Yeah, you constantly want to make sure you get them right. You don't want to rush it too much. You want to be able to execute it so that not only are you protecting yourself, you're also protecting your opponent, and nobody gets injured, nobody gets hurt. You're doing this in a way where you're really like protecting yourself and protecting your opponent. So that's very, very important.
Very, extremely important. The worst thing you can do in this business is quite literally hurt someone else.
Yeah, and really want to be careful and pay attention to what the coaches are teaching you and telling you, because it's very important information.
I promise everything that they tell us, not only is it just important, it is something that they watch consistently over the years. Over and over again, they watch a new person from another different background make the same mistakes. And that's mainly why I listen to my coaches. I have always had a bad habit of listening, a good habit of listening to my coaches, no matter what they telling me, because I know, like, okay, well, this isn't something that he just made up. He's genuinely trying to help me move forward in this business. And I think now that's what I'm looking for. I'm going to be so open and honest. I genuinely need a coach like that. My last coach I felt who was really, really hands-on with me was Devon Dudley when I was still training in Florida. And man, that training school was epic. If you want to be a pro wrestler, you want someone to tell you the rights, the wrongs, how to do it properly and all this good stuff. Devon Dudley was like one of my biggest inspirations for like just helping me stay in the wrestling business and giving me that confidence that I could literally be a great wrestler as long as I paid attention and listened.
Yeah, and someone like Devon with so much knowledge and wisdom and has just had a history of being involved in the business for so long. Anything that he taught you, like whether it was like little techniques that you're using and applying to now, that taken away from your time training with him, that you've kind of taken away from your time with him?
Definitely the intensity of how you train. It's changed the way that I walk into practice. I don't even come into practice no more. I come in to fight. I'm coming in to wrestle somebody, and it's usually all the boys. So I've been whooping the boys all day and night, but he literally made sure that he just implanted in our head, don't do this for no reason. Like, we both know we have to get hit. We both know something's going to hurt. We both know we are professionals. So let's get in this ring and give people what they want. They want two professionals in the center of that ring, really giving it their all, really not being afraid to fight.
Were there times where you were just like, I don't know if this is something I would like to do, if I want to do this? What were some motivations for you to keep going when things got really hard? Because it can be really, really tough to really continue, and it's a really intense business, and you want to make sure that you're doing it 100% effort and giving it your all. Were there times where you just felt like stopping and pivoting to other things? What was it? What was like the biggest motivator for you to keep going?
The biggest motivator for me had to just be the amount of people I was impacting. Aside from the Caribbean is just like this vast area of people who've been craving these things as entertainment. So it fills me with a pride to be able to say, hey, I'm bringing this back to people who really, really genuinely want it. But also, it's just a simple fact that anytime I get in a moment where I want to give up, I keep meeting somebody that makes me not want to give up. So for instance, I went to get crawfish one day. I'm a crawfish holic. I went about 30 minutes away to get some crawfish. And the place I went to previously, it like randomly had no power out of nowhere. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to give up this crawfish search. I found another place. When I came there, it was this beautiful lake. It was a father and his daughter. And I just ended up talking to them. And it's so funny because his daughter was so interested. She loves the fish. She loves being on the boat. She does taekwondo, but she is always talking to them about being a wrestler. So the fact that I was a wrestler, he was like, yeah, go over there and talk to her. We started chatting. And oh my gosh, it's like I gained a little sister. I brought her to her first ever live pro wrestling show, and she's out there supporting me. The moments like that is where I'm like, you know, if I was meant to stop, I would have not had this moment that fills me with a lot of joy and pride. And I would have never been put in this position. There's no way I could stop. It's no way.
When you have these little kids that are looking up to you, it's the best feeling in the world, because you're seeing yourself making it, and then they feel that they can make it as well.
Literally. And that's all I really want. I just want when people to look at me, I don't want them to use me as I want to be just like her. I want them to use me as just that motivation that I could do it myself. She did it. I definitely could do it too. My way, however I want to do it.
Mm-hmm. Well, you start training, you put the fundamentals together, you have your first match. I'd imagine it can be intimidating, wrestling in front of thousands of people. What was your experience like those first few matches into the business?
So I think it was less nerve-wracking wrestling for all of a crowd of fans instead of a crowd of people at the PC. I think the PC crowd was a lot more tougher than my actual fans. When I actually got with the fans, I felt comfortable. I felt relaxed. I knew the story that I wanted to tell. I wasn't second guessing it. I wasn't going too fast. I genuinely felt exactly what I was supposed to feel. As opposed to that PC, oh my gosh, it was like that pressure. Every time it was like pressure on my chest. I'm forgetting what I'm supposed to do. I'm like,
And so you signed with WWE and reported to the Performance Center. Were there plans was the plan to get you into NXT and have you on television?
I honestly have no idea what their plans was for me. Every time I spoke with some higher ups, you know, they let me know that you are original. We have no woman like you. Literally, like, take out being from the Caribbean. I think I am probably the first and only literal Caribbean person. I'm not talking about heritage, like their grandparents. I'm talking about someone who literally come from that country and was placed in this place. I think I was the very first ever true Caribbean person in WWE. So I thought they would have utilized that a little bit more, but they just kept telling me that they would. They just was like, oh, we have so much plans for you. You're so good. Your in-ring is catching on so fast. Like, I got a lot of really, really good feedback. So when I did get the call for my release, I was so surprised. I was so shocked. I was like,
it's really devastating when you get that call saying we're letting you go, and you're putting a lot of hard work and sacrifice into this, and this is something that you've wanted to do. And to yourself, what are you saying? Like, how do I figure out a way to keep going even if I have a setback?
I just keep the faith. I have a very strong belief that if something is meant for you, it's gonna happen. No one's going to be able to change it. And not even you yourself can go against what is just meant for you. So I try to really believe in that. I don't question it.
Hey parents, how do you make smarter choices for your kids' college today? That's where Sally can help. With Sally, you can find scholarships, funding options, tools, and guidance all in one place. And if you need a loan, Sally has options for different families and different situations. College is only worth it if you do it right. So don't just help your kid go. Help them go smarter. Sally.com/GoParents.
I may fall down flat on my face one day, but the next day I'm not asking how to get up off my face. I kind of just get up off my face. You know what I mean? Instead of looking for signs or someone to tell me, I'm just kind of like, you know what? This is your moment where you're on your face. Tomorrow's a new day. Let's get up. Let's get to work. And if it fails, it fails. Do not ever be scared of failure. That F word, they made us scared of it in school. But to fail means you learn. If I'm not supposed to be a professional wrestler, at least now I know it's so many things surrounding professional wrestling that I'd be so good at. Marketing, promotion, and just doing things like this, having great conversations so that we could inspire more people and just having more people get to know me. Like, it's so many more things that I feel like I could bring to professional wrestling. So I'm not really scared of the future. I'm just interested to see how this is going to play out.
It's always good to be optimistic, and we're a very positive outlet. And so being able to think about the future and be excited, there's a lot that comes with that to look forward to. And so you've had a lot of other opportunities that have come your way since then. You were part of WOW, Women of Wrestling. What was it like working for that organization?
It was great. I absolutely loved working for WOW. I loved working with the women that were there. The production there is amazing. You know, they're under David and Jeannie, and they are actually really good. I just hated the circumstances that happened with me, because I feel like I say, fate is so real. I think it was so crazy how I finally, after months and months and months of being in the Bahamas, stuck there, trying to get my visa, trying to push this visa so that I could become a professional wrestler, and to get it, arrive back in Orlando, and the same day that I arrive in Orlando, I get my passport stolen from me. Yeah.
That's
and
the worst feeling.
Passport, ID, everything. Because it would have been okay if it was just my passport. I could get it back. But my ID, it was so much things that I needed to get on that plane to go to WOW. And how they kind of act at that promotion, they very high pace. If you can't keep up with it, then you literally are going to get lost. And I'm currently in that lost space where it's like, yeah, we would want you back, but then we're going to have to go back and write you in the story and do this and do that. And it's like, they don't really have to. They have the full roster that they want. They have the main storylines that they want. So it's like, they're not really the type of promotion to really say, hey, we missed ya. Hey, I'm going to have to go there myself. I already planned it. I'm going to go to LA. I'm going to knock on the door and say, David, I want my job back.
I could see you end up back in a major promotion. I think it'll happen sooner than later. And over the course of your time in the business so far, what would you say have been some of your best experiences, favorite experiences, anybody you've enjoyed wrestling so far in your time?
Oh, yeah. Best experiences is when I got in All Caribbean Wrestling, of course, because I brought all of the big wrestlers out. All of them girls wanted to fight me. And I was like, yes, come. Red Velvet definitely was a banger match. I learned so much from Red. Just being able to just roll around with her and see how she just put things together in her head, and the energy she brings to the ring. She really brought something out of me that I've been waiting for another wrestler to bring out of me. So that was like top moment so far in my wrestling career.
It always is a good thing when you're working with somebody that you really idolize their work and you've watched their work for so long. So it's just one of those like pinch me moments, because you're finally getting that chance to wrestle against somebody that you want to be in the ring with. What about like anybody that you hope to wrestle against in the future? Any dream opponents?
Of course. I think all the girls, we all have the same dream opponents. Mercedes Moné, she's never going to be able to retire. she has a lot of matches that she got to commit to. Mine though, Mercedes. Okay. But yeah, she's definitely one of my dream matches. Trinity Fatu is that. Trinity and Bianca, they my dream matches only because I want our matches to lead to a faction. I just know that faction would be disgusting. Okay, I think the whole entire world would be, because Trinity. What I love about her, she's honestly like that heel. She's honestly like that. I'll knock you out right now. Bianca is like, I'll knock you out too, but I'm gonna pray for you first. Like Bianca's like that, and then I'm like, so I think that'd be a great matchup. I think that would Our storylines would be great. We would bounce off each other great. Promos would be so entertaining. The outfits, the hair, the makeup, we would go together so well.
Definitely could see that. That'd be huge. That would be really good. So you've wrestled currently in the Caribbean, United States. Any other countries that you haven't gone to yet that you'd like to wrestle in?
Oh my goodness, Japan, I'm coming. I'm saving up my funds. I'm going to sell enough t-shirts. I'm saving up my funds. I'm heading out there to Japan immediately. I love Joshi wrestling. I love it with a passion. It absolutely embodies my type of wrestling style that really caters to me and my soul. I also got like offers to go to Mexico, but they haven't been doing what they need to do in order for me to get out there. But I have every intention of being in Mexico. I also want to start getting into like the African countries and, all these places. I see in Ghana, I think who just gifted, was it Cody Rhodes? He gifted a ring to the guys out there. So I really want to get out there. I just want to I want to tour the world, but as a wrestler.
Yeah, I mean, I think the independents right now are on fire. I think there's so many different places where you can go and have an amazing career. Truly. You have Japan, Mexico, Canada.
I love Canada. Canadians are so nice.
The European market as well. England, Germany, France. They've got some pretty good wrestling as well over there.
Yes, they do. England for sure. England is going to be a hit for sure. I gotta get my chain wrestling up because I gotta make Coach Brookside very, very proud.
Yeah, so there's so many opportunities out there, I feel like, for young wrestlers that can go and just see the world, travel the world, and really enjoy what they're doing, the craft of what they're doing. So yeah, you've definitely have a bright future ahead of you. We're a show that talks about charity work and volunteering, and I know you've done a lot of that over the years. What kinds of things have you been able to help out with out in your community?
So in the Bahamas, I was such a big animal fan. I thought I was going to be a veterinarian instead of a pro wrestler. So I used to go to the Bahamian Society. I would take care of all of the animals, the horses, the dogs, the cats. I dreaded the cats, but I did take care of the cats. I found myself doing food drives, just doing stuff on my campus and just being able to help out however I can help out. I don't think community service. I think, why would I not want to help someone? It's only going to help me in the end. It's only going to help me, whether it's emotionally, spiritually. It's just so much ways that it's going to fulfill me. So I always try to find ways to encourage kids. For sure, here in Houston, Texas, my friend, she's a coach at one of the high schools out here. So she was having like a fun day and she needed some volunteers to come out. I definitely ran out there. The kids, after I told them I was a wrestler, oh my gosh, I was out there getting really whooped. Okay, they was like, yeah, punch. I was like, ow. That was a good one, buddy. Calm down, buddy. I literally got the full Roman Reigns into a spare. I was taking DDTs. It was a great day.
Okay, so the kids, did they just like come up to you just like right away and just like
yeah, when they found out that you were a little bit cool, they like, I can touch this person.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Wow. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I'm glad you're okay though.
I made it out alive. I was like, sis, I gotta go home. They having too much fun. I should not have told them my job.
Well, was there ever like an event or fundraiser that you were involved with that was just so near and dear to your heart?
All of them be near and dear to my heart. I feel like you get the same feeling from all of them. Helping animals makes me feel the same way as helping persons.
Well, let's talk about helping the animals. Could you elaborate on any of the animal charities that you were working with?
Yeah, so the Bahamian Humane Society, they pretty much just You can go there, you could sign up, and it's like you have a job. I kind of was just shadowing the veterinarian as they were doing what's it called, neuterings and spades and stuff. So I got to see how that works. They really didn't micromanage me too much. I came in, I quite literally just cleaned out the dog cages. Maybe I'll play with some of the dogs, take a couple for a walk. Like I said, I dreaded the cat cages. I can't do the cat litter. I'm sorry, I'm not a cat litter person. But I did go in there. I cleaned it up. I just had an amazing time just walking around and just looking at the surroundings. And the Bahamas is such a beautiful place. So it was just really, really a peaceful area for me. And I think I worked there for about a year. It was really fun. It was absolutely fun. I met a lot of good people. I saw how well Bahamians were starting to take care of their animals too. I started to notice a change of how people were like really coming in to get those shots and checkups and really go and buy animals, adopt animals. That was so, so sweet. But yeah, it was like a really nice time. The most recent one I did though was the kids. I was on what was my station? My station was running back and forth. They had a relay race. So I used to run track, so I was the perfect person for it. I was like, all right, you little maggots. Y'all parents sent y'all with no money, and I know y'all gonna be hungry. So let's get it.
And they listened.
They lined up. Don't get me wrong. Even though they did listen, they did not do instructions correctly.
Okay.
It was supposed to be a tag and the next person go, but it just ended up as the whole entire line taking off. It was so funny. I've never seen a relay race where the whole entire line takes off and the whole entire line is racing back. I was like, you guys, we don't know who's gonna win if y'all do it that way.
Brings you back to those memories of being in school and field day and going and doing all that stuff.
Oh yeah, grass was a big memory.
Yeah. I mean, you get your workout in and you're able to, basically almost like relive your childhood in a sense, because this is something that, you used to do. And we're out there and participating in a fun activity.
Yeah, quite literally.
What is it about giving back to the community that gives you the most joy?
What brings me the most joy is knowing that something I did impacted the community. That's the most joy that anybody could have, because it's one thing to live it inside a community, but you're not a factor. But being in a community, being a factor, whether it's just you're the person that's gonna pick up the trash, like if you just see a random piece of trash, like that's you in the community. You can pick up that random piece of trash. People will start to know you and they'll be like, oh, you mean the guy that always picks up the trash? And it's something really wholesome about just being known for just nice things, simple, nice things that anybody could do. That is what gives me the most joy, because once again, it's all about really showing others, hey, look, I can do this, so you can do it too.
Exactly. Setting a good example.
And that's what we always want to be.
Exactly. Well, Kaylia, this has been wonderful getting the chance to speak with you. I want to say thank you for coming on to Wrestling with Heart. It means a lot to me and to my listeners and viewers that are watching this on YouTube. Where can people find out more about you on social media? And if you have anything you want to plug, feel free.
Yes. As Stanley said, I am still All Caribbean Wrestling Women's Champion. We ain't debating about none of that. Y'all know who the girl is. Y'all can find me on all my social media platforms at __ LEXINI. Feel free to reach out to me about any like fundraising, anything that's gonna positively benefit our environment. Feel free to reach out to me. I would love to come. I would love to support however I can. And definitely thank you so much for having me on today, Stanley. Thank you for being under the Capri sun. I know it's so much fun.
It is. And you're more than welcome to come back.
Thank you. I would love to.
Absolutely. And remember, you can get your copy now of Champions for a Cause Volume 1. It is a collection of interviews with some of your favorite wrestling personalities, talking about Mark Marrow, Tito Santana, Jake the Snake Roberts, Buff Bagwell. Do not miss out on this opportunity. You can get it now for $15 on Amazon. I'm Stanley Carr, and I'll see you next time.
Oh, yeah.
This is Wrestling with Heart. I hope you found this podcast to be informative and entertaining. If you did, please hit the subscribe button and look out for the next edition.
Hey, this is Eric Hutchinson. I've joined the Pantheon podcast family, and I hope you'll come check out my new podcast, Songversations with Eric Hutchinson. Each week, we find out what music matters most to the people who define our cultures. I interview famous guests like actors, musicians, comedians, politicians, and everyone in between. We listen to music together, and we talk about the soundtrack of our lives. It's funny, insightful, revealing, and it's a great way to discover new music. So come check me out. Songversations with Eric Hutchinson, wherever you get your podcasts.